Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I was a little bit busy after dinner today, getting some resources ready, doing a little bit of scripting, doing a bit of writing for my Brant guide, for the Chang Li guide, a lot of the exciting stuff coming up for version 2.1, and I was met with something rather interesting. And that is, of course, the Resonator showcase for Brant. And this isn't going to be the Resonator showcase that we've all seen before, not going to be his combat one, it's actually going to be the real deal itself. And I have to say, holy moly, this thing looks like it's long. 3 minutes and 54 seconds, and it seems like these Resonator showcases have only been getting longer with time. And so with that, without further ado, I'm very excited to see what Kuro has planned for this character, because of course, like a lot of people have been saying, right, this is the first male one that we've had in a very long time. The first male one we've had since Zhang Li Yao, back in version 1.2. So let's see what these devs have prepared for him.
The nobleman's dagger failed to take his life. Now wanted posters plaster every street and alley.
They've already got the Fool's Troop ready to go, so they're going to be super heavily integrated into this one. And if you all are familiar with Rosia's trailer back in version 2.0, they were heavily featured in that as well. I'm so excited to see what role they're going to play in here. Hopefully it won't be as sad as Rosia's.
I crawl through the shadows night after night, still no trace of him.
Chin up, Tina. Don't lose hope, Tina. The immortal return will come back to his stage and the high seas with fire.
This wasn't pre-watched. This was uploaded like 10-15 minutes ago my time. I'm simply glad it's happier. It's a much more lightened vibe compared to Rosia's.
Still standing, friend?
This is the flaming return we're talking about. I'm not missing this.
Well, there's no fun in watching from here. Let's get ourselves front row seats.
This is clearly Brandt after he's been exiled. After he went on the pilgrimage, he got sent on that boat out of Resonator and over to, like, you know, where the Dragon of Dirge lives to be purified or whatever the hell they do. So now I'm just wondering why he's in jail again. Does he go to jail often? And is going to jail and, like, I guess, getting punished, like, part of his character at this point?
Easier said than done. We're not exactly the returned, are we? You're fighting rotten bastards slipping in and out of prison like it's a stroll in the park. What I'd do to see it up close.
Then what are we waiting for?
The voice acting, too, in this trailer has been absolutely absurd. It's been amazing. So many varied accents. They all sound great, and they're giving a lot of additional personality to the characters that I feel like has been something so new in version 2.0 and 2.1. All of these NPCs, all of these sort of like extras having so much actual life, especially compared to 1.0 and, you know, honestly, even other gacha titles.
We're not missing this show for the world.
I don't want to be presumptuous about the genre of music that's getting played here, but it kind of seems like a tango almost. It seems a little bit Spanish inspired to me, and that's awesome. That's awesome.
Come on.
Gotta have a signature.
Our freedom is not the Thessalia's to control.
I love the lore. I love the lore here. So he's in jail because of the Thessalias. This might be like a Thessalia prison, and we all know who's coming out, ladies and gentlemen, in version 2.2. It's going to be Cantarella, the Bane, the leader of the Thessalias. And so maybe these two have beef. Maybe she doesn't like him very much.
Our spirits are
Strong enough to break these cages!
Thorns of decay.
Now writhe in flames. Whirlpools of the deep.
Now see from the heat.
The return will not be undone by a...
I'm gonna be honest, Brant's not beating the allegations with, Brant is not beating the allegations with this one. Let's be real here.
The return will not be undone by a storm. Ha!
We need only prepare to welcome his return.
Everyone, together, we shall create wonders!
It was all scripted. It was all according to Keikaku. It was all according to the plan. Bro went to jail on purpose just so he could stage a breakout scene for his troop. That's what I call commitment. That is what I call commitment. And now what I'm wondering now, Brant was willing to go to jail for this performance. What the hell has Rosia been doing? Or was this before Rosia was in the troop?
Hold it right there, you circus clowns! Save that ridiculousness of dance for the afterlife!
One thing I wanted to take a look at with these Phasalia goons is, like, they actually look like they don't even belong in the game, kind of. Like, I could see a series like Mass Effect or like sci-fi, you know, shooters with like the soldiers and stuff. These bros are kitted out. Like, what even is this? This has to be one of the most futuristic guns I've ever seen. Like, they're just about to start blast. Like, what? This doesn't kind of even seem like a fantasy world anymore. These guys legitimately seem like, the Phasalias at least, seem like the most high tech. Because what the hell even is this?
The afterlife!
I shall turn the tears of ravagers into sweet rain from above, and the howls of oppressors into the people's laughter. Mounds of vanity built on tainted riches. My blade shall cleanse their corruption. The bells of evening prayers have lost their true tone. Let my words compose a new chorale. The immortal returned, lives in the hearts of the worthy. For all eternity!
That's crazy. That was absolutely insane. And I'm going to be honest, the fact that Brant's, like, forte ability is the ability to conjure up a gigantic fucking flaming anchor out of nowhere and then drop it on people has to be one of the most unique, and it kind of shows like where these devs are gonna go when it comes to overall creativity. We all know that he uses this in his kit, and to see it kind of like demonstrated in what it looks like outside of gameplay and in full power, yeah, this has to be one of the most absurd but also one of the coolest things that they've added into the game. And one last thing that I'm going to say when it comes to Brandt and like kind of what we've seen so far is, where the fuck is his hat? We're 2 minutes and 50 seconds in out of 3 minutes 54, and bro has not had his hat the whole time. Couldn't the little echo that brought him his sword have given him his hat too? That actually seems like the end. That looked like an ending shot, but there's still 50 seconds left.
Thank you for coming, friends. That's a wrap for today's show from the Troop of Fools. Hey, Tina. What do you think? Was that a new escape record?
Yep, and fastest bounty throwaway as well.
Good thing we stocked up in advance.
Got more wanted posters. We could do a few more runs of this.
All right, so he does have the hat. But what I'm wondering is, Brant was doing all of this, running at high speeds, conjuring up anchors, going on gondolas to escape. What the hell did everybody else do? What was everybody else doing? What, like, how did they all get away? Or did the Phasalias only go for him? Was he the only priority? Because aren't they just his accomplices in crime at this point?
Course is set and we're ready for the seas.
And there we go, there's the hat.
Righto. Let's take this show to the next stage, shall we?
That was a cute little ending. That was a nice little ending. And what I'll say is that the most confusing part about this character, at least at this point, is 1,000,000% the mask.
For coming, friends.
The mask is 1,000% also like part of his forte. I think that's why it was also one of like the leaked teasers that Kuro had for all of the 2.0 roster, Brant's was 1000% the mask. And so I'm wondering if this is going to be something, a dynamic that's going to be explained a lot more in his story quest, because right now it's kind of just like there, you know, it like dissipates into fire and stuff. I am wondering what it has to do with like the anchor and how all of this stuff is linked together. Because it's like, he's a combination of some really strange motifs. Purple flame, a gigantic anchor that he conjures out of nowhere, and a mask that's like half white, half black. It's a lot of kind of like disjointed stuff that when put together, I feel like it does work. It works out well, but it's also like, why all of these things? What do they all mean? Is there something that links them all together that we're going to find out in his story? And I do hope that this is a dynamic that's at least explained or explored further. But yeah, that'll be my take on kind of like all the stuff that we're seeing in here. I gotta say that when it came to like demonstrating his kit, demonstrating, you know, how skilled he is with the sword, how he attacks, the midair combos, and of course, the agility with which, you know, he goes about the battlefield. I think that this was a pretty good trailer. I think that this one really had a lot of personality. It felt very similar to what we actually experienced in the 2.1 fishing quest when we actually got to try him out. And while this moment was cool, you know, it is a gigantic flaming anchor, I feel like I would have liked to see him maybe do something with the ship other than, you know, like go on it, because, you know, the ship is kind of a big part of this character, and kind of like only having at the end, it would have been nice if it like pulled up or something, maybe fired a couple of shots. Maybe he doesn't want to destroy the city. Something where it would have like a bit more of like an action role in the showcase. But overall, I'd say that this was a pretty solid one. I do feel like a lot of the prior showcases were, I personally liked them a bit more. I liked Phoebe's more. I don't know if I liked Rosia's more, but I definitely know for sure that I also like Carlotta's more too. And the music, while good, and it did fit, I feel like it didn't really have like the oomph that we were used to from some of the prior releases as well. So overall, I think it's like solidly up there in terms of like being a good trailer, but I don't think it's the best one that we've had for the 2.0 cast, but still a solid one. With that, let me know what you all thought about it, and peace out.